All right, in our Sunrise Smart Start, a 38-year-old woman shot while inside her home in Rochester.
Police responded to Roycroft Drive for the report of shots fired just past midnight. Officers say at least 2 houses were struck by gunfire, with 1 person shot in the upper body. She was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Now, no suspects are in custody, and anyone with information is asked to call 911.
Rochester police say 2 children were nearly shot after a separate house was shot at overnight. Officers responded to Ripley Street around 10:30. They say 2 11-year-olds, along with 2 others in that home, were almost struck. No injuries were reported, and no suspects are in custody.
Rochester police are currently searching for a missing woman with dementia. You can see her picture here. Officials say 86-year-old Mary Vaccaro was last seen on Midland Avenue in Rochester around 6:30 on Sunday. She is 5'3", 190 pounds with brown hair and brown eyes. She was last seen wearing a blue jacket and blue jeans, and police say Mary was driving a 2015 black Nissan Sentra with the New York license plate number HZH7220. If you know where she is, you're asked to call 911. In our Sunrise Smart Start this morning, time may be running out for a peaceful resolution to the Ukraine crisis. President Biden has accepted an offer to meet with Russian leader Vladimir Putin, but the White House believes plans for an invasion are already in the works.
We are joined by Washington correspondent Basil John live in D.C. this morning. Basil, good morning. All right, here's the big question here. What can we expect from a potential meeting between these 2 world leaders?
Well, Mark, Allie, good morning. And honestly, from this meeting, we don't know what could happen. This is all based in principle, though. So President Biden has agreed to meet as long as no action breaks out and Russian President Vladimir Putin doesn't pull the trigger and send his forces into Ukraine. Now, this whole proposal was brought forward and was made possible thanks to the French President Macron. But from there, right now, the U.S. is just trying to make sure that a war doesn't break out in Eastern Europe. And you could consider this a last gamble for the president to make sure nothing breaks out over there.
All right, Basil, thank you for your time this morning. And of course, we'll continue to follow this. Thousands of Russian troops were supposed to leave Belarus after wrapping up 10 days of joint military exercises yesterday. However, the 2 nations said the soldiers' deployment had been extended indefinitely.
Let's head to England now. Queen Elizabeth is in isolation this morning after testing positive for COVID-19. Buckingham Palace says the 95-year-old has received all 3 doses of the COVID vaccine. The royal family says the Queen is experiencing mild symptoms and is currently receiving medication as well. A few weeks ago, Prince Charles and his wife Camilla also contracted the virus.
The Winter Olympics wrapping up in Beijing with the closing ceremonies already on Sunday. Norway coming out on top with 37 medals overall. The Russian Olympic Committee coming in second with 32, followed by Germany and Canada. Team USA finishing in 5th with 8 gold, 10 silver, and 7 bronze medals. So what's next? Paris will host the Summer Games in 2024. And that would be fun to go to.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, sign us up right now. Hey, I don't know if we can go all the way to the feel of summer, but it's going to be a nice warm-up here for late February, James.
Yeah, certainly a spring feel on today. If you are driving anywhere, whether or not to work, if you are working today, it should be a nice day. Starting off in the 30s, eventually warming up into the 40s. I would say upper 40s for those along Lake Ontario. If you're a little bit further south, Finger Lakes, we've got those microclimates so different from spot to spot. Those areas likely getting into the low 50s. We hold on to the warmth for the next few days, but do not put that winter jacket away. A plunge back toward winter in the 8-day forecast at the end of the show. Mark?
All right, James, thank you. Checking the roads with our Sunrise traffic. Just into our newsroom, we do have the report of a vehicle fire. It is 490 west at Howard Road in Gates, so could see some slowing there. Volume and some slowing evident here on 390 as well, but no accidents to report. 590 up to speed at last check. All right, in other news this morning, Rochester police are investigating after a 19-year-old was shot on Lake Avenue Sunday morning.
Officers arrived to the area near Twin Beaches Drive around noon. The victim was taken to the hospital and is in stable condition. Investigators say several rounds were fired, striking a house and car as well. No other injuries were reported and no suspects are in custody.
A teenager is in the hospital after a shooting in Rochester over the weekend. Officers responding to Dewey Avenue around 2:30 yesterday afternoon. They found an 18-year-old with a gunshot wound there. He is being treated for non-life-threatening injuries. There are no suspects in custody with this shooting. If you have information, you're being asked to call 911.
A 35-year-old woman was taken to the hospital after a stabbing in Rochester this weekend. Police responded to Durnan Street around 10 o'clock Saturday night. They found the victim with stab wounds to the upper body. She was taken to the hospital and is being treated for non-life-threatening injuries. No suspects are in custody. Again, anyone with information asked to call 911.
Well, last year, the number of guns detected in airports increased in upstate New York and across the country. That, according to the Transportation Security Administration.
The penalties ranging from fines to criminal charges. Erica DeCoste joining us now in the newsroom with more on what this means for Rochester. Erica.
Good morning. Well, here in Rochester, we weren't really affected by the uptick, only 2 instances total. But for 2022, there's already been 2 seizures on record in just 2 months alone. TSA says there's been a significant spike nationwide with over 5,000 seizures, many of those loaded. You can lawfully carry a firearm in a checked bag if it's unloaded, packed properly, and approved with the airline prior to arrival. Mark Johnson, TSA director for upstate New York, says many people forget to do this. They aren't familiar with state laws, or they simply forget a gun is in their bag. The uptick over the pandemic is certainly strange considering less travel overall, but he says it's mostly just carelessness.
They're lawfully possessing the weapon, or they lawfully possess it in the state that they live in, but then when they come here, it's illegal and they don't know it. But the fact of the matter is they don't know what's in their bag. So they take a bag, they don't check it out, they don't make sure it's empty, and there's a loaded handgun in it.
In Rochester, the latest detection of a loaded handgun was February 7th. Johnson says it was an individual who drove here from Arizona planning to fly back and had a loaded 9mm in his bag. The case is handed over to Monroe County Sheriff's Office. In the newsroom, Erica DeCoste, News 8.
All right, Erica, thank you so much. And firearm possession laws vary by state and locality.
Let's get some national news now. New video showing the moments a police helicopter crashed in California over the weekend, killing a police officer and injuring another. This security camera footage shows a Huntington Beach Police Department helicopter crashing into the water in Newport Beach Saturday night. Huntington Beach police say 44-year-old Nicholas Vela died as a result of his injuries. Officials say a second officer was released from the hospital Sunday morning. The cause of this helicopter crash is still being investigated.
The U.S. government announcing the ban on avocado exports has been lifted. This comes after U.S. inspectors received a death threat in an area where drug cartels are known to extort farmers, caused a temporary ban on the import of avocados from Mexico. Before the ban was lifted, businesses worried about price increases as Mexico supplies about 80% of avocado imports to the U.S.
All right, let's get you to the water cooler on this Monday morning. NASCAR making its return Sunday. Rookie Austin Cindric getting his first career win in the sport's biggest race, the Daytona 500. Cindric holding off Ryan Blaney and Bubba Wallace on the last part of the final lap to win. Cindric is the 9th driver to get his first Cup win in the Daytona 500. And there were a lot of wrecks yesterday as well. The good news, no one seriously injured in those wrecks. But it's the rookie who gets the big win.
Oh, it's hard for me to watch.
Oh, my gosh, yeah.
I'm nervous every time someone crashes. Ugh.
I'm with you. It's, I think some people say it's the main reason they do watch, which is a little interesting, to say the least. But enough about NASCAR. Let's look at the forecast here. We've got a really beautiful sky right now over Canandaigua Lake. You can see that, the clear skies there. We've got a beautiful day. A lot of melting today. Temperatures starting off, let's see here, in the 30s, 36 at last check. And we climb, likely around 50 by this afternoon. Depending on your location, further south of Rochester, you'll definitely see low 50s. We've got mid-50s for your Tuesday. Rain showers there. We stay mild for a bit, then cool off Wednesday and Thursday. And Friday, we're going to continue to talk about Friday. That could potentially be our next snowstorm around Rochester.
All right, enjoy these temps while they last. Thank you, James, and thank you for watching News 8 at Sunrise.
Our next update coming up in 30 minutes. CBS Mornings is up next. Have a great day.
Follow News 8 wherever you are on RochesterFirst.com, Facebook, Twitter, and on our app for news and weather.